3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, what's up guys? Thanks for swinging back. So this is going to be a chill sculpt because I want to add a little like belt, like a utility belt or something on him. Maybe going around here with a little pouch. And I think I want to add some goop in his hands. And then maybe like, I'll have like a, I don't know. The goop has to, something glowing. I want it to be glowing goop. So that might be the easier thing to start with. So let's just add it here. I think I'm gonna just use a sphere, but I don't really know. I've never really made, I guess I've made like syrup before, but I just want to make like gloop. Yeah, and I want it to be like dripping from his hand, from his fingers. So this is great. So you know what? I think it just needs to be a little more flat. And you know what? I'm going to, I don't know why I keep saying you know what. I'm going to rename this goop. And we'll go ahead and validate it. And I want to move it because the weight would be towards the bottom of it. So I'll just use move, I think. I'll smooth it out to kind of make it a little bit smaller maybe. There we go. I want it to be more like a teardrop style. Yeah, something like that feels pretty good. Just make sure we smooth out the top, keep everything nice and round. There's a weird little notch there, and that's really bugging me, so I'm going to voxel remesh this. Maybe 125. Doesn't really need too much right now, but I want to make sure everything is smooth. So that's just smoothed that out pretty nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna add another sphere. I'm not too sure on the best way to get like dripping things. I want to try a different way to do it. Just didn't like it. And sometimes that just happens. Maybe I want to try a cylinder. So let's try snap. All right, I'm going to validate, and I want to do symmetry and change this to vertex. And let me see which symmetry I'm actually working with. Let's do local. Okay, X is correct because I see the line going across. So this should just stretch. Take it off symmetry. I'm going to put this back to auto. And now it should just shrink like a normal shape. I'm going to voxel remesh this down to like 100. Actually down lower to like 80, 75 or so. I want to smooth the bottom part. Take it off snap. I do have another trick. I could use select mask and rectangle. Then I could shrink this and then push it up. Then I'll clear the mask and shrink the whole thing. Okay, then I'll just smooth it out and see what happens. I do kind of like it. I just wish that I probably should have done it with a sphere. That's probably the better option. So we'll take the sphere, we'll change this, we'll validate it, we'll change the symmetry to local, and then we'll go symmetry, change this to vertex. Okay, I'll change it to Y. That way I can just stretch it up and down. Turn that off. I'll use round edge a little bit. Oh, actually, no, before I do that, the move is to voxel remesh this. Like 150 is good. Then I'll do round edge. So now it's like more solidified. Then I'll do select mask like I did before, rectangle, and about that. Shrink it. And then bring it up like this. Clear the mask. The flat does look good, so I'm going to keep that for now. But let's see what we can do with this. I didn't realize I made it so big. All right, I'm going to spin this so I can just move it straight out. What does that look like? All right, let's just see what it looks like. Sphere, goop, voxel remesh it together. Why do they look still separate? No, they're not separate. I think the cylinder looked better. Huh? This just looks weird. That just looks really weird. Yeah, it looks much better to me. And let's take drag and maybe we'll just follow this through. I think that works. I think that works, but I think that feels better. What do you think? I want to pull this down and I want to make sure that I push this up some. Okay, so that looks better. I'm going to clone it and then move it over to the other one. I wouldn't have thought that the flat would like work well, but really works well, I think. Oh no. It has to be like in there. So let's take drag and let's make sure that we really make it look like it's coming from there. That's good. I like it. So the only other thing that I'm toying around with in my mind is let's validate a new sphere. I don't know if this is going to work, but I kind of want like, excuse me, excuse my voice. So I'm going to be on a pretty popular podcast called Coffee with Creators. It's from Adorama. I'm a little nervous about it. Not really for any particular reason, more just like, you know, I'm a hermit. I'm not a hermit. Like, I don't really, like, I can do okay in like social settings, but I'm so, I don't know, like I'm not like a talker. I can talk a lot, to be honest with you, but you know, like sometimes like you can do okay, but I don't know. I get a little nervous when I have any sort of speaking engagements or something. But I guess probably most people do, and especially artists, I suppose. Let's add some inflate. Oop, I don't want symmetry. This looks really good, actually. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to save. The other goop I'm just going to delete. I might have edited that out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to delete it. So these cylinders, oh, let's go ahead and voxel let's see, sphere. Let's take all of these and let's see what they look like together. Make sure I just smooth the top part of that. Oh, that looks good. Oh yeah, it looks like it belongs. Oh, that's a little strange to me. I really want it to look smooth. That's better. It's gotta look smooth. So I want to take inflate now and inflate where these fingers are, because the fingers would have an effect on you know, whatever this stuff is. Yeah, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm liking it so far. Oh, that one's a little messy. Hopefully it smooths out okay. Kind of like it. Let's voxel remesh it a little bit higher. And let's see if we can just smooth this out a little bit better. That looks good. So the only thing that I'm toying with is maybe these need a little bit more like something like, no, that just looks bad. Maybe they need a little more at the bottom, maybe? No, it just looks bad. It just looks bad. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it like that. So this will be goop. You can save. I'm going to add a new sphere. Oops. God, sometimes the gizmo, I just want to like have the option to just lock it to certain things. That would be awesome. You know what? Let's stretch this out. Give him a little bit more floor area. Let's flatten this. Okay, I'm going to validate, and I want to use X and Z, local. And I just want to make like a little... Yeah. Make sure it's at least underneath properly. That's good. And we'll add another sphere for the ground. It's got to be something on the ground. Maybe this needs to be a little smaller. This one can be a little bit bigger. And then we'll clone it. And then maybe we'll clone it again and add another one up here somewhere. Maybe make it a little smaller. Okay, but these two I want to fuse together. Okay, nice. Maybe flatten it a little bit more. Good. Let's put it down a little bit more. Perfect. And I might just trim it. So I'll use rectangle. Just trim that. Maybe I'll trim this too. Oops. We'll validate it. And then just trim it. Good. So now these two spheres, how big are they? Oh, they're kind of huge. I'm going to decimate them. Decimate both of these. Decimate this one. Doesn't need to be that big. None of these actually need to be that as big as they are. Okay, that's good. I want to decimate this as well. Still looks pretty good. Now decimating is just like there's a balance between making it small and losing when you start, sometimes you start to lose quality. I think that's fine. Okay, so these two I want to join, and then I want to do gizmo and put the pivot centered, and I want to move the pivot down so it's right in line with that. Hit pivot again, so this way I can make this a little bigger, and it's still at the perfect spot. Maybe I'll make this a little bigger too. And let's move it back some. I kind of want to put some of it on his face. Oh, I kind of want to do it. And you know what's cool about it is like I can make it a little bit see-through, so I don't have to really worry about going over the teeth and stuff. Ooh. Sphere. Goop. Littles. Nice. It's exciting now. All right, so let's make Goop mouth. Isn't Goop like that Gwyneth Paltrow stuff or something like that? I don't really know what it is, but so we'll do something like this, maybe. Okay, I think that looks all right. Okay, but the only thing is, I don't know if I can use the teeth and, okay, so for the tongue, wait, something needs to be, oh, the teeth aren't validated. How aren't the teeth validated? Let's validate and join children. So now the teeth are good. I'm gonna clone the teeth and take the Goop mouth, hide the teeth, do a quick save, and then I want to do a Boolean. Okay, so now this should be like have a teeth shape cut in them, which it does. Perfect. So now I'm gonna vox remesh it pretty low. Ooh, not that low. Maybe I'll just vox remesh it at like 150, 140. Take smooth and just smooth it out. See how that looks. Does look a bit weird. Probably didn't need to do that. So that's okay, I'll just undo it. So instead what I'll do is use inflate to kind of make like, don't need symmetry. I want it to look, you know, like it's the same substance, you know, obviously. Okay, we'll make some falling out, and let's see if I can just do it with drag. That doesn't feel right. Goop mouth. Let's add some more back there. Let's clone. I just want to make sure that there's a decent amount of this stuff back there, maybe on the tongue a little bit. And I'm really excited because I like making, I like things that like glow, firstly. So I think what would be interesting is if I make this and then I have it glowing, and then maybe have one of my little fruit pudgy thingies and have it. So let's put this maybe in between the teeth. We'll validate it, and maybe we'll use drag. Just kind of drag it down. Maybe drag it a little bit in between the teeth. I should have saved one of those. But let's validate this as well. But that's okay. We'll just do it pretty quick. We'll do snap, snap forward. Oh God, this freaking thing again. Gizmo. Also, I just want to shout out you all. I really appreciate you guys helping me get to 100K and all of that stuff. Man, it's been really cool. I should have my plaque soon, so I'm excited about that. We'll see. Okay, I think that's good. What do I do now? Validate, symmetry, vertex, and then make sure I'm on local. Make sure I can see the symmetry line on local. Come on. Which I can't. Nope. Nope. There it is. Okay. So now we will just stretch this. Turn all this stuff off. Select mask rectangle. Boom. Ooh. Let's voxel remesh this. Oh, the only problem with voxel remeshing is, let's do multi-res. Subdivide once. Select mask. Wait. We'll have to voxel remesh it. The only reason I didn't want to is because it makes it a bit harder to smooth, but we'll just have to voxel remesh it lower. So let's use a gizmo, shrink, and move it up. Okay, we'll clear this mask. maybe I'll vox remesh low, around 100. We'll use round edge. We don't need symmetry, I don't think. Oh, this is like, it's looking really bad. So I'm just gonna voxel remesh it like 130. And then I'll use symmetry. Let's turn on X and Y. And then we'll use symmetry. Ooh, there we go. Yahtzee. I wonder if I was too aggressive with it. It's a little better. Let's move it up. Out. I'm just going to trim it. Let's trim it again. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's save. So this cylinder and goop mouth, I think, need to be voxel remeshed together. And smoothed. Oh, whatever, I'll smooth all that as well. Oh, you know what I forgot to do though? I forgot to take drag, because it really has to look like it's and as soon as I was like smoothing it out, I was like, this doesn't look like, they don't look natural. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Smooth all this out, don't need symmetry. Nice. Nice. Let's clone this. Let's move it over here. Did I move it? What am I doing? Oh, I did. I just wants to pretend like it's not. I actually kind of like that there. Maybe I'll clone that. But I wanted to put something here. Oh, snap. I was wondering why I wasn't turning the way that I want. I thought it was just being a butt monkey. So I'm going to take drag and I want to kind of bend it around as though it's, you know, like he's been eating this stuff, so it's like around the mouth a bit. Okay, I like it, but okay, I like that. don't mind that at all. Let's use inflate and let's just add some, just add a little something to it, a little flavor. Okay. What are these teeth? Oh, wait a minute. Is this the... Why do I have two teeth now? Anyway, so what is this cylinder? So this is mouth goop. I think that's the mouth goop inside. Yes, it is. Mouth goop. Mouth goop. Oh, this cylinder is huge. So first let's decimate this. Miscellaneous, decimate, 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 decimate. Still looks good. All these little pieces I think are pretty small. Where's the main mouth goop? Oops. Goop mouth. And then there's all these little pieces that we'll just join together. This will be mouth goopies. Let's decimate those as well. Decimate, decimate. One more time. That's good. So then we'll take goop mouth and we'll just join it together. Good. Littles. Oh, that's right. That's the, okay, teeth, tongue. Let's move this up. Okay, that looks good. So also, I want to add my, add to scene, recents, fruit pudgy test. That's just my little guy. Oh, and he's actually included in my last Skillshare class. I made sure to add this little guy. So we'll just put him here. Oops. Maybe a little smaller. Okay, so we'll put one there. Let's go ahead and do the little pivot trick. So pivot, we'll bring this down to the floor level, and then pivot again. And actually, eye dots, eyes, mouth, and leaflets are going to be all together. Fruit, pudgy, accents. Okay. And I want to color these. I don't know what I want to color them, so I'm going to color them white. And then I'm going to clone them so I can make another little one. Let's move this one over. There we go. And then we'll move the little one back a little bit. Let's do a line so I can just move this thing around freely. Okay. kind of cool to have another one. Over here. I like that. Nice. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to do was add a belt on him. I did want to add a belt on him. Do I actually want to do that, though? I don't know. What's the easiest way to do that? I think it would be... Well, I'm going to get rid of this leg. So let's do a save. Let's add a cylinder. And this is going to be the belt. So we'll just shrink it. Okay, let's take it off of a line. So then I can stretch it this way. I can stretch it whatever ways I need. Okay, so this is the more important part of it. The part going around that side. That actually looks pretty good. Maybe I want to tilt it a little bit more, bring it down a little bit more. That looks good. Stretch it a little bit more. That looks great. Can be a little bit more, a little bit thinner, I think. And I want to use radius because I want to make this side smaller, it seems like. Something like that. That looks pretty good. Don't want to validate it yet. So I usually don't use hole because when you use hole, it just makes it harder to, where's the hole? Yeah, it just makes it kind of harder to work with a little bit. So I usually don't use it. Yeah, I think it'll just make it harder to, so I usually just do no hole. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, the only thing I might want to do is up the subdivision, maybe twice, validate it, it looks good, and then just do manually move it so that it matches everywhere. So for example, here, I'll just push it in where it should be closer to the body, and also pull it out where it should be against the skin. And sometimes it's just like a push and pull. That looks good. It's a little wobbly, so I'm gonna just adjust it so it's not so wobbly. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. Okay, and we'll deal with that later, that top part. It's not so bad, actually. So if you want it to be a little bit more straight here, you can just use pinch. You can use pinch and just pinch this edge. And this is another reason I don't use the hole, because like if it was like a thinner, if it was thin, it would like pinch both sides, both edges, and it wouldn't look as good. But at least now I can pinch it and it just looks like an actual belt. Okay, Looks good. A little bit of something here. This should go in more. Ooh, we got some. Why does this look like it's... Okay, now I'm just trying to push that edge so it looks a little bit more even. Okay, so now for a little pouch, I think I want to do... What's the best way to do a little pouch? Pouch. Let's just use a little box. So we'll move it over here, flatten it up, make it smaller. So we'll do something like that. Let's change the settings before we validate. Let's bring this down to 4 and make this up to 2. Let's validate that. We can probably use round edge or just use smooth. See if we can make it a little smaller. Okay, so let's... Well, it's not bad. I kind of wanted like a rounder edge though. Man, I'm like... Sometimes I just like will never be happy. There's always like something that I'm looking for specifically. But you know what? I can probably just flatten it. Let's do solo. Let's see if I can just flatten this edge. Oop, symmetry. Let's see. Local. Y, no, Z. Let's do Z. That way I can just round off the back. I don't know if I want the whole thing rounded, actually. Maybe I want this round, the back part. That feels nice. So at least the back part is rounded. Okay, so let's name this pouch, but I want to clone it and move one out and make some sort of like, yeah, I think something like this works. Okay, I think that's nice. Maybe we'll take a nice flatten and flatten out the edges a little bit. now the only other thing we need, where we can probably just clone this little pouch bit. Actually, let's just use another square. Oh, let's use a cylinder. Yeah, let's use a cylinder. Why am I so excited about using a cylinder? So I'm going to snap it this way and then shrink it. Boom. Move it up. Let's make it smaller first. I could have it as a circle. Oh, you know, maybe two of them. Two of them works. So let's make one. Let's bring the subdivision down. We'll make this, do we want one or two? Maybe just one. Maybe a little more topology. I can live with that. So we'll validate that. And then we'll just clone it and move it over. Boom. So we'll join these. And they are pouch buttons. So we'll do a quick save. Okay, so now we have a pouch, pouch one. And they're not, none of them are that big in size, so that's good. Let's see if I can decimate. Still looks fine. Let's see if I can decimate this. Still looks fine. I'll probably decimate it more. So yeah, when I decimate, it just brings the size of this stuff down. So if I can, I do. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so let's take select mask. I'm going to use my lasso, and I just want to protect part of this thingy here. And then I just want to drag this part down. So we'll just drag it down a little bit like so. Clear the mask. And then hopefully, let me do a save and let me voxel remesh this. Around 160 or so. Ooh, maybe that was a bad move. Do I need to voxel remesh more? Ugh, it looks so ugly. Well, let's smooth it and see what happens. See if it does what I want. It's not too bad. I just wanted a crease. So let's use crease. And let's crease this even more. And I'm just creasing it so it actually looks like, you know, it's being, just so it looks a little bit more realistic. And that's the only way I could think to do it. So this looks decent. Let's puff this out a little bit more. And then the only thing that I think might work is a little flatten action. Maybe on both of them. Looks good. I'll voxel remesh it again and then just smooth it out. So it looks a bit more natural. Looks good. Maybe a little pinch up here. But otherwise, very happy with it. Very happy with it. might add some other little things on his little belt, but I think that's good for now. So the only other thing I was thinking is maybe having like pants on him. If I was going to do that, which I don't know if I'm going to keep, but I would just use split, and I would split it maybe like here. I would split that, maybe make it a little bigger even. And then since I split it, I would do a voxel remesh and then rounded edge or just smooth. So it looks like he has his little pants on. They're a little low. He has his little low-rise pants on. Maybe it should be reversed. Maybe the pants should be smaller. Stretch out his little legs. So maybe the shirt should be... Oh, you know what? I didn't voxel remesh this top part. That's why it was looking crazy. So it's interesting. It just adds another little, you know, I think I like it, actually. I think I do. And part of me wants to split the arm as well. Part of me wants to split the arms and give him like a little t-shirt. But maybe that's too much. Let's try it. Who cares? So if we were going to split this like this way, and then take this and voxel remesh it, and then do move, and just move the edges out some. Look at that, that's cool. Let's do split on the other one too. So I feel like it's important how you split it though. So I think I want to split it right there. I think that looks good. Let's voxel remesh it. Ooh, wait a minute, no. That's not good, see? Not good. Split. So maybe here. Does it look good on the back? It looks good on the back. Let's try that. So we'll remesh it, and then we'll use move to just slightly increase the size. Looks pretty good. And I might want it a little longer, so if I do, I'll just use pivot, turn snap off, and maybe try to maybe try to make it a little longer. I don't know if that will work. So I was thinking something like that. There's always a way. There's always a way to kind of get what you need. That looks good. I'm going to save. Because why not? So we have the arm splits. How big are they? They're quite big. Okay, now what do we want for the shirt? Do we want his shirt like open at all? Because that is something. I don't think so. I think we can just... So we have the body. Oh, the body's really high. So when you look at the body, it's actually quite high. So let's just trim it. Solo. Yeah, let's trim it a little bit. Doesn't even really need to go. Ooh, you know what? Maybe we'll trim it right there. Make sure I didn't cut anything that I see. Doesn't look like I did. Okay. I gotta take my sweater off. I'm like burning up. Oh, and this was just supposed to be the second part of the crash course. But you get all these ideas and you just have to like, you can't help it. At least that's how I am. I just get all these ideas and I just can't help it. I didn't even do eye dots. I gotta throw those in. Where are the eyes? So let's throw in some little eye dots. I kind of like the one in the middle. I've never actually done that before, but let's mirror it. Let's go back to our little gizmo. And I'm going to make this flat. Push it in. Let's figure out a good spot for them. Whoop. So maybe like right there. Okay, I'm going to validate and then I'm going to take drag and figure out what shape I want these. I like it. It's a little big. I want them to be a little bit more subtle. I like it. Okay. This little, what do you call it? Little disco ball-y, so I'm just going to smooth that. Okay, so now the shirt is the shirt is called legs, so we need to fix that. So this is the shirt. And these are the sleeves. So what happens if we voxel remesh these together? Do a quick save. Let's voxel remesh them together at 200. Let's hit it with a nice round edge and see. Ooh, it's okay. So what I think will save me here is if I use flatten on these edges, but not symmetry, because they're not symmetrical. I find that sometimes the only thing you can do is flatten. Smooth out these parts that I can smooth out. And I might be able to use pinch on this. Pinch works sometimes too, but I find I don't have as much control over pinch, and sometimes it doesn't look as smooth. And that's decent. Oh, I know why this is looking like this, because it's not connected to the arm anymore. Okay. So let's take Gizmo. The arm, I'm going to go pivot, center, pivot. Let's move the pivot to make it easier. This video is too long. I need to send it off. Let's just move this up real quick, over real quick, up again. Okay, and then I'll just take move and just kind of do the opposite of what we did before. Just push it in a bit. This is looking real ugly, so I'm just going to flatten this. Okay, how's this side look? This side's looking quite ugly itself. How's this arm looking? Ooh, everything's connected to the arm, so you know what? We're moving the sleeve instead. We're going to move the sleeve. Because if I move the arm, I have to move all the goop and everything, and that ain't happening. So that's good. So now the shirt's only 82. Let's do a quick save, and then let's decimate it. Okay, let's take a look at the belt. That's 72. So let's decimate that. Still looks pretty good. The bag, small, small. Buttons are small. The bottom, the legs. Let's do decimate, decimate, decimate. They still look pretty good, even though I feel like I should put some boots on him or something. I feel like he needs something. Also, I made the back of his legs a little weird. That looks a bit better. Yeah, he definitely needs some boots, I think. Well, maybe not. We'll see. I wonder if I can just fake it and just do a flat around the edges. I will leave it for now. But he does need some boots. Ooh, I know something we can do. So I'm gonna clone leg split. So I'm gonna solo until just both of these. Okay, so let's take leg split, and I'm going to do select mask. Make sure, oops, not that. Rectangle. Oh, you know, I might have to make it. I have to up the resolution. Subdivide, that should be good. Select mask, maybe around here. And then just pull that down some. Clear the mask. Trim. Trim that. Undo the solo. Bring the other legs back. So now I just need to move everything up. So I don't know what I don't need to bring up, so I'm just going to select everything and work backwards. Pouch. Okay, so fruit pudgy, no. Arms. Floor, no. What is this cylinder? Oh, that's the belt. That's what I get for not labeling everything. Okay, so I think that's good. I think that's everything. So maybe we should just be able to move him up. Oh no, the goop. The goop. Goop littles and goop. I think it's just goop littles. Okay, we should be good now. So we'll just move this up. Like so. And now we can take these and maybe make them a little bigger. Okay, so they're not acting. So here's the leg split. Here's an easy way to do it. Let's just trim one side. Turn symmetry off and trim one side. And then we'll work with one side and then we'll just mirror it. Whoops. So pivot, center, pivot. Move this over. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll do a quick save. We'll voxel remesh this little piece. And then we'll do round edge. You can just use smooth if you don't have round edge. Smooth that out. Trim it just in case. I can't tell if it needs to be trimmed, but I will trim it. And then I will decimate this because this is just the sole. It doesn't need to be big. The size doesn't need to be big. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, now we can take the leg split, add a mirror so it's perfectly on the other side. Validate that, join children, leg split. This is just the legs. This mirror is the soles, shoe soles, shirt, arm up, fruit pudgy. Let's put this with the other fruit pudgies. Which one is this? This is fruit pudgy big. Fruit pudgy solo. Okay. Floor, what is this mirror? What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, that's the eye dots. Oh, okay, let's validate those. Eye dots. What else needs to be validated? Oh, this. So I'm going to clone this. Since this is the ears, we're going to erase ear 1 down here, and then we're going to erase the top one on this one. So this is, validate that. Ears. Pivot, center, pivot. So that's the ears. This is the ear puffs. So we'll validate, join children, pivot, center, pivot, and rename this ear puffs. Do a quick save. I get really nervous it's going to crash on me the longer I've been working, even though it's only 426K, so it's not so bad. Okay, so how big are the ear puffs? They can be decimated along with the ears. Horns, they're pretty small. These are the lashes, so we'll validate those. I need an H in there, I'm sorry, but I need an H. And we will decimate them twice. Because these are going to be black, so you're not going to see any details on them. The eye dots don't need to be this big. They're very tiny. Pupils, we'll leave them. Eyes, we'll leave them. Horns are small. Teeth, teeth we can decimate. They don't need to be that big. Okay, we'll leave them at 9,000, even though that's kind of a lot, but that's fine. Tongue, tongue does not need to be that big either. Shirt, I think we already did the shirt. We did the pants, belt. Fruit pudgies are all small. Soles, legs. Okay, so I'm okay with the size of the character. Take a break. So I am going to put these little thingies on the belt. So I'm going to bring this down to 4 and bring this up to 1. What is that? It's still quite big, but that's fine. That's fine. You know, people always ask me, I get like messages about the file size and stuff like that, and it's really, you really just have to learn. There's no real like trick. Like you just kind of have to learn how to work it and like be more and more efficient. Like I think that's what it is. Like you get more and more efficient. It's a little tall. Shrink it a little bit. That's good. Maybe a little taller. Maybe a little deeper. Let's clone this little guy. Fit him in there as well. There we go. Yes. That's all the brother wanted. And this shirt I need to pull out a little bit back here. It's a little bit buried. Nice, nice. And you know, maybe even, I kind of wanted to put a collar on him, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think maybe just clay around the top. Oop, not sub though. Oh, you know what? No, it's fine. Oh, you know what I could do? I can make it really easy. I can just add a cylinder. Sometimes I gotta listen to how I talk, like how my voice changes. Like I get so excited over the weirdest things when I'm sculpting. I don't know, it's funny to me. I make myself laugh often. Okay, so I like this. I'm just gonna validate it and then use move. So we can have some sort of like collar. Oh, you know what? We don't need symmetry anymore. I make that sound a lot when I'm sculpting. It's kind of funny now that I think about it. I do make that sound a lot. Whoop, whoop. Because I'm always like, especially when I use the gizmo, I'm always accidentally hitting things I don't want to hit. Gizmo's like a butt monkey. There we go. I like it. I could give him a little badge or something here too. And I can make something in the shirt. I think it's fine. Let's see what crease looks like. If I was to do crease down the middle, it looks horrible. But I could put a little patch on him. But no, actually it's a t-shirt. T-shirts don't have patches. So it's fine. Everything else looks good. Okay, I think I'm actually quite good with this. So the eyes, let's go ahead and validate those. The pupils, let's... yeah, let's validate those. Let's put this under the eyes, just so we know where it is. So we have head. How big is the head? Head is 79K. I can probably decimate that, but I'm going to want to color inside the mouth. So I might just keep the head as it is. But the smarter thing to do... so the other thing is, do I want to like tilt the head at all? That's when it gets tricky. That's when it's tricky. Because that would be fun. You know? So like if I took like the goop mouth and the ears, the ear puffs, the head, the lashes, the eyes, P1, the eye dots, the teeth, the tongue, the horns. What else am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something, but you can always like, let's move the pivot of all of this down here. Because if you do that, then you can like tilt the head a little bit. And like, I feel like that adds a lot of character to it. Right? I like it. I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to move all of this stuff to work with that. Because that's something that I don't do enough, is make things like asymmetrical enough. Can't believe I did all this stuff with this thingy over his shoulder, and actually I didn't even need to do a lot of it. Okay, so let me move this in more. This is bugging me. Okay, so that's pretty good. What's going on over here? Let's pull this thing down. I just want to see a little bit of it. Collar type thing. That's fine. That works for me. Oh, you can see a little bit more of it in the back though, so let's pull this down a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm pretty good with this, so I'm gonna save. It's looking great. I like that it's not perfectly straight. Gotta do more of that. Gotta do a lot more of that. So, now that we have this saved, what do I have to do next? So I think I can actually color it. So I think I can jump back into the regular tutorial. So keep an eye out for that. But he looks pretty good. And just for this video, I'm going to do a little bit of... Wait, do I have... I cannot believe I had post-process on the whole time. I didn't even realize. This looks cool though. I'm gonna save a view and name it 1. Do I want perspective? No, I want orthographic. So I'm going to save that view, and then I'm going to send one. I think I'm going to send square. Transparent background. I'm going to send one to my computer. And then I'm going to, I'll do a quick, I just like to do another version where he is, how is this 14 megabytes? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense why these are so high. I don't understand. Okay, so let's do it really quickly. Let's take everything and wait, it already is white. Why am I doing, oh, let's change it to subsurface. Why do I feel like nothing changed? Oh, because I am still in MatCap. I'll go to lit PBR. Look at that, that's crazy. That looks crazy. Everything's still selected, so now I'm going to change it from this color to this terracotta color, my favorite. Paint all. Okay, now we're in here and turn the strength up a little bit. But you really have to turn off the environment and turn on a light to really get the full effect. Yeah. So I'm going to clone this. I'll move it over, get a nice little rim light going. I'm going to do this slower in the other tutorial, in the actual tutorial. So we'll get a nice rim light going. I wonder if I can soften this a little bit. No. Cool. Oh yeah, I can. It looks better soft. It gets rid of those lines. So this other light, let's turn this up a pinch. And I like to do just little tiny, you know what, I'm going to keep it. I think I'm just going to keep it just like this. Let's add another one of these and let's move it back to this side and we'll turn it around. Whoop. I don't know what I just did. What is happening? I'm just going to delete that light and then I'm going to start again because I don't know what happened. So we'll bring this over here. We'll go on the green ring. Let's go ahead and do soft. Oh, soft is still on there. We can turn this down some. We'll add a little more light to this side. Maybe it's like a cooler light. And what I always like to do is add another light, a spotlight. And I like to add the spotlight to the face. Because I just want the face to be nice and visible and bright. So I like adding that extra light to the face. I'm going to go back to my view. Looks great. Might have to turn one of those lights down. If I turn on the environment, then I have to turn it all the way down. Not all the way, but pretty dark. That looks good. Okay, so one of these is a little too bright. Bring that down. That's perfect. So I'll make sure I'm on the view and I'm going to export this as well. I'm going to make sure I turn off frickin' show line because apparently that shows up. It shows up in the thing. I want to make this glossy. No, I'll just keep it as is. Might as well do screen. It's going to be a huge file. All right, I think think that's it. So I'm gonna jump back into the tutorial. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video.
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to go more in depth, then definitely check out my Skillshare classes where I am a top teacher. I have about 50 classes, both Procreate and Nomad Sculpt. I also have a few classes on Udemy, so if you want to learn more, or you just like my style, you like the way I teach, you want to support me, those are some other places that you can do it. Thanks again, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. Buckle up, Buttercup. Welcome to the next level. I'm Drug-Free Dave, an artist with a passion for 3D art. I graduated from the School of Visual Arts in 2003 in New York City, and art has always been an integral part of my life ever since I can remember. I've always had a deep desire to create 3D art. Sculpting on the iPad Pro has opened up new possibilities for me, and I'm excited to share my knowledge with you. I love teaching and exploring innovative ways to create art with Nomad Sculpt, a 3D sculpting application available for iPad, iPad Pro, and Android tablets. This advanced class is designed for those who want to create full human figures, clothing, accessories, sort of Disney, Pixar style, so anatomical, but not like anatomically anatomical, you know what I mean. Expect a thorough exploration of how to use and combine simple shapes and tools so you can be excited to tackle complex sculpts rather than afraid to attempt them. Together, we'll cultivate problem-solving skills and a smooth workflow so you can make sculpts you can be proud of. Are you ready to take your 3D sculpting and your workflow to the next level? Join me in class and we'll get you past the plateau and onto more complex characters that are more than just cute little round creatures, which is my favorite. But at some point in time, you gotta try something that's hard. You can also export your 3D file for use in other applications like Blender for animation, cycles rendering, and a whole lot more. Buckle up, Buttercup. Welcome to the next level. Are you ready to take your 3D sculpting to the next level? Join me in class and we'll get you past. Are you ready to take your Join me in class and we'll get you Join me in class and we'll get you butter up Buttercup.
Cringe-worthy.
100%.